That Brian Lilly, you know, the most successful Scotsman in history. He's doing pretty well, isn't he? Great guy. That's going to be a great show. Do watch. This story here, a young blogger in Saudi Arabia is in danger of being executed, and has certainly been promised such a fate for merely posing some rather gentle questions about his Islamic faith. Now, someone else who's been threatened with death over the years for his views is author Tariq Fatah, who's with us now. This young man, give us the background to this story, please.
Well, he's 23 or 22 years old. He's from Jeddah, and one of the fascinating things about him is that he's not of Arab ancestry. That's a dimension of Saudi life that is lost on most Western observers. Yeah. Jeddah and Mecca are probably the most multicultural cities in the world ever. This man is from Kashgar, which was Xinjiang, which is Chinese-occupied Kingdom of Kashgari, which is Central Asia. There are families, Saudi families, who are from Delhi. Their names are Dehelvi or Peshawari or Surti.
And they're citizens?
Of course they're citizens. They've been there hundreds of years, because Mecca was the reservoir where everyone came for Hajj, and barely 10% left. So you had Africans, Chinese, you know, Europeans, everyone living over there. And in that society, once you carry that name of a non-Arab, you go one ladder down in the ethnic hierarchy.
Thank you for saying this, because there is this nonsense. I find this some Muslim converts, and they say there's no racism in Islam, there's equality. I have experienced more racism in countries like Turkey and Egypt than almost anywhere else. For other Muslims, South Asian, black Muslims?
Oh, absolutely. It's part of Sharia law from the 15th century onwards. That clearly identified Arabs as superior to non-Arabs, and a sin for a non-Arab like me to question this doctrine. But leaving that aside, the young man merely said what I would say.
Okay, let's put up on the screen now. Let's put up on the screen what he actually said, because people might be stunned how mild it is, actually. I have loved things about you, and I have hated things about you, and there is a lot I don't understand about you. This is about Muhammad.
Absolutely.
Well, I will not pray for you. Is that it?
That's it, and I would suggest to you, Michael, that there isn't a Muslim young man who has not, or a Catholic, or a Jew, or anyone of faith, who has not questioned within themselves this phenomena. I know of Muslims who I have sat down who have questioned the notion of the mass murder of Jews ascribed to the Prophet Muhammad, how he could do that, you know, many things about his marital life, and it is done in honesty, sincerity, and in good faith.
So he did, and it's just a passing comment.
Oh, he tweeted this, for heaven's sake. All he did was that, perhaps imagine him sitting alone and tweeting this to his own reflection. Right. And the guy is a brilliant 140-character writer. In one quote he says, "Saudi women can't go to hell. They've already been there." Wow.
The tweets were removed.
The tweets were removed, he apologized, and then he ran for his life. And you can imagine the young man didn't know where to go.
Because the death threats are already flying.
Oh, yes. 30,000 people want his head chopped off.
30,000.
I've been on the Twitter with Saudis, graduates from Yale and Harvard, who say, "What's your problem? We just want to kill him." Pakistanis of all the places simply gearing up. "Give this man to us, we'd kill him."
Where did he flee to?
He fled to a place that every Western writer says, "Oh, the moderate Malaysia." Yeah. Some of us know that's not true.
So he goes to Malaysia.
He goes to Malaysia, and guess who's in control of Interpol nowadays? The United Nations General Assembly, where the biggest bloc is the Organization of Islamic Nations, 52 nations, not all of them Islamic. They have enough manpower within Interpol to, within 24 hours, interject to the Royal Malaysian Police, and despite the fact that Malaysian politicians and lawyers come out to the court to ensure that he's not thrown out before the court application can be presented, he's been rushed out back into the gallows. I shouldn't say gallows, into the prison of Saudi Arabia.
So Interpol, international police, they're meant to make sure that international drug dealers and gangsters are taken care of.
This is not their deal.
Are used to identify a man who has not broken any law, who's simply
never been charged of any crime.
Gone to Malaysia,
yes,
and they deport him back to Saudi Arabia knowing it's very likely he will be killed.
Absolutely. Even rapists don't get deported. Even Abu Qatada from England is not being deported.
Yet.
Oh, he might face death in Jordan.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was that some of the evidence used against him may have been gathered
Yes.
by the use of torture of someone else.
I understand, but this is the problem. You won't find the name of Hamza Kashgari, who's a young chap in jail, on the main headlines.
Well, I want to show a Facebook page here, because there are people now who are reacting to the defense of him. Let's look at that now, that Facebook still we have. Now, this is someone who says, how could you possibly defend this man? He has to die. And this is common.
Anas Hashmi, Pakistani. The cesspool of international Islamism is today Pakistan. Tens of thousands of people who have a bloodlust and a hatred of rational reasoning.
Did you look at his page? He likes, well, even worse, he likes Arsenal, but he loves soccer. There are soccer videos. I'm just an ordinary guy, but he deserves to die. He said he's ambivalent about Mohammed.
I don't blame these lunatics who want him dead. I have a serious problem with the liberal press in the West that has not picked up on this. I don't have a single flotilla going over to Saudi Arabia to save him. There is not a single voice of dignity in this country that has said, that chap, you better not put a hand on him. And I'll tell you, he won't be executed, because within Saudi Arabia, and I'll tell you, the editor of the Arab News, the largest circulation newspaper in the Middle East today, English language, has come out in his defense. I know of Saudi-based groups that have said, he's not going to die, you idiots. Another group in London, England, has said, you touch him and we'll get after you. So my feeling is that within Saudi society there is a very healthy liberal perspective, right from the royal family down to ordinary intellectual, and they will save him. But who will save us from those who have kept silent on this bizarre internment of a person? Who will save us from Interpol? Totally infiltrated.
Well, we'll have another session entirely on the police, including the police in this country and some of your personal experiences and mine. Thank you.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. Thank you, sir.